Furthermore, based on video clips which appeared later, Mrs. Hashemi, wife of Ayatollah Rafsanjani, speaking at one of the election polling stations, declared that if people felt that fraud was committed, they should pour into the streets. Meanwhile, the chaos continued relentlessly. The election process was not officially over when Mir Hossein Mousavi declared in a news conference that he was the new president of Iran.
برابر اطلاعاتی که ما از ستادهامون داریم در سطح کشور برنده قطعی با نسبت آرای بسیار زیاد این جانب هستند.
He received his information from his representatives at the polling stations throughout the country. This contradicts a statement he later made that his representatives were not present at the polling stations.
این علی‌رغم این مسئله است که ما در سطح کشور با اخراج وسیع ناظران خودمون روبرو بودیم.
His speech aroused his supporters and Tehran submerged into fury and flame. Trash bins, city buses, and banks began to burn. Military personnel and security forces that did not anticipate such a response quickly jolted into action. Some of the actions did not occur without causing bitter resentment and repercussion. Mobile imagery and amateur digital recordings that captured the intense battle between the protesters and government forces leaked out of the country. The crude, shaky images added to the vitality, and the media hype escalated. Government officials grew angry over the relentless negative images pouring out of Iran, angry at the foreign media and the policies leading them. On Sunday, 2 days after the election, Ahmadinejad was quick to call his supporters to celebrate the victory, an event that took place before the Guardian Council certified the election results. Valiyas Square and the surrounding streets swelled with Ahmadinejad supporters. They were happy and hopeful despite the underlying and volatile dissension.
پدر چند سالته؟ چند سالته؟
82 سال.
ماشاءالله. بله. دیرتر از اینم بودی می اومدی؟
دست پام قطچه میام با سینه خیز. باید تمام مردم ایران بفهمند 80% دروغ نیست. جمعیت رو ببینید. 80% دروغ نیست.
Ahmadinejad repeated his former statement about fighting economic corruption, and the audience reacted with massive elation.
ما میگیم آقا چند نفر، چند تا گروه، 200 نفر، 2 تا حزب، اینها حق ندارن خود را مالک ملت بدانند و به هر جایی که میری دست اندازی کنند. مردم مبارزه با مفاسد را از مسئولین میخواهند و پای اون تا آخر ایستادند.
He restated that 40 million voters participated and considered it a victory for all. However, he enraged the opposition when he called the rioting in the street the act of junk particles and petty driftwood. The supporters of Mousavi considered this a direct insult to their honor and retaliated through a mass demonstration the next day. The feud was a new phase, especially in the capital.
در انتخابات 40 میلیون نفر خودشون بازیگر اصلی و تعیین کننده اصلی بودن. حالا 4 تا خس و خاشاک این گوشه ها یک کاری میکنند، بدانید این رودخانه زلال ملت جایی برای خودنمایی اونها نخواهد گذاشت.
People had found a new venue to express their resentment towards Hashemi Rafsanjani, who many in Iran believe to have had a hand in many corrupt dealings in the country's politics, a claim which has yet to be proven. On Monday, 3 days after the election, the supporters of Mir Hossein Mousavi rallied in a huge demonstration that extended to Azadi Square. During the demonstrations, a Basiji paramilitary center that stored weapons was suddenly attacked. Fear of weapons falling to the hands of the demonstrators led to a furious battle that ultimately ended with both protesters and members of the Basij being killed. It was never determined who instigated the fight. Never before heard of slogans began to be chanted near Azadi Square. Slogans such as neither Gaza nor Lebanon, I will only sacrifice for dear Iran. Some even spread rumors that the Hezbollah party of Lebanon was involved in the unrest. This was, however, emphatically denied by the Hezbollah office in Tehran. It was apparent that the difference in language and culture was too immense for such an intervention to occur. The opposition candidates demanded the nullification of the election. They pointed their accusing finger at the Guardian Council.
دومی که جمهوری اسلامی توانایی رو داره که اگر اشتباهی هم رخ داد جبران بکنه. این دومی رو من میخوام که تو این انتخابات انشالله نشون بدیم که تنها ما توانایی رأی گرفتن نداریم، ما توانایی جبران اشتباهات و نواقص رو هم داریم.
Nevertheless, the Guardian Council insisted on the fairness of the electoral process.
اگر احیانا خدای نکرده مشکلی وجود داشته باشه که در سرنوشت انتخابات مؤثر است، بدون هیچ ملاحظه‌ای و بدون اون که خواسته باشد پرده پوشی انجام بدهد، وظیفه خود را انجام خواهد داد.
After numerous objections by the opposition, the Guardian Council came up with a compromise. 10% of the ballot boxes would be selected at random by a team representing equally each of the candidates, and those votes would be recounted. Any degree of fraud would be immediately evident. the result of the recount would leave the opposition with no further complaint.